Hey everyone, it is Andrea, the Traveling and Saving Chief, and I'm so excited to be here and I'm so excited that you are here too. This video will be a budget with me for the 1st to the 14th of May of 2025, which is my first pay period in May. I will have one more pay period mid-month, and I'm going to cash stuff my variable expense wallet. In addition, I'm going to discuss the allocation from my almost $3,000 of savings from the month of April. And I also have one quick savings challenge that I do with my paycheck. And we will make sure that we allocate those savings from April into my travel binder. So I hope to move through this pretty swiftly. I tend to do decent on that. So I'd also like to share that I am a divorced mom of 3 grown-ups. I am also going to be retiring from the Air Force on 1 September of 2025. So lately in my channel, I've been doing a lot of discussion regarding me getting ready for a much lower pension income and how I'm going to finish paying out several debts. My debt-free marathon is the other primary focus. I started with $48,594 worth of debt about over a year and a half ago, and I've really been tackling it and reducing my spending, in addition frivolous spending, to get after paying off my debt. So that's a lot of what my channel is talking about. And finally, my 3 biggest sinking funds are the debt-free marathon that I mentioned, my month ahead, so that I can be prepared for any changes in that income, or if I don't receive my pension check at all initially, if there's any hiccups. And then lastly, travel, because I do still love to enjoy life and see this creation. So please stick around. All right, I do still have the cash on the left-hand side of me from the close out of April, and I will be recycling that in. So I will talk through some of that as I explain the budget. But for now, let's zoom in just a bit on this budget sheet that is from Glory's Budget. In the income section, I've got my military pay for this pay period in the amount of $4,075.49. And then I've got the rental income that comes in from my condo in Colorado, and that's $2,260. I do have a plan for the condo, but I will talk a little bit more about that in a couple months. That total in the income section is $6,335.49, and I've already brought that down to the income section down here at the bottom. Hey guys, as I'm out here editing the video on my walk, I keep forgetting to tell you that in the bill section, well, I guess I could even say it in the income section, that my privatized housing dollar amount for where I stay in Maryland on base is already deducted from my paycheck before I receive it. So in case people wonder, like, well, how do you pay for where you're at? That's how that works. So my paycheck would be higher, but the privatized housing comes out of that. So and I'm using a filter in Snapchat to make me look better this morning. All right, I'll let you get back to the video. And going into the bill section, so you don't know it yet, but the reason I don't have a Discover loan payment will be discussed in my debt-free marathon update from the month of April. That should be the next video. That'll be a next video coming out shortly after this one. So my normal Discover loan payment that I would have made on the 6th of the month, I have a dash here. Instead, I have reallocated monies into more savings here. So I'll get to that in a moment. Next up is insurance, life, car, renters, all the insurances on the 4th of May in the amount of $217.78. Then my storage unit in Colorado that I told my daughter she's going to have to figure out by September because there's lots of items in there that she wants to retrieve. So she said she's working on that plan. So that is a auto deduct on the 4th of May. Like I said, $215. Then the HOA for the Colorado condo in the amount. There's two different charges that come out. One is $95 and one's $40, and those come out monthly on the 5th and 8th of May, respectively, in the total amount of $135. And obviously these Colorado expenses, they come out of the rent, but I like to list them separately. So I'm indeed also showing how, I mean, as a regular civilian too, but definitely as an active duty service member, sometimes you get orders to go somewhere else and you have to figure your life out on how you're going to take care of property, in another place. So I like to say that because I know a lot of other people are in a similar situation. Okay, Macy's. Macy's is number 10 of 10 that's in that debt-free marathon. So that's the last one that I'll be concerned about tackling. So we're getting there, but we're not quite there. So the minimum payment for Macy's is due on the 1st in the amount of $76. The water bill for Colorado due on the 6th of May, $48.37. I have a business expense on the 1st of May in the amount of $40. Audi payment. I'm going to pay another extra Audi payment on the 500th of May. On the 1st of May in the amount of $500. We are tackling the Audi. I do have plans to get some good pictures taken and try to sell that again. It's not negative anymore in terms of the value and what I owe. So that's a great thing. So I definitely am going to be a big girl and work on getting that sold. But last weekend was OBE in the military, overcome by events. So I was OBE'd, and then I am going to be OBE'd this weekend because I'm going to drill weekend at a Maryland unit and then at a unit in West Virginia. So I will have no time this weekend either. So I'll get after it. That's $500 though from the budget. Then lastly, in the bills section is the mortgage for Colorado is $1,954. So the total in the bills section is $3,186.15. I have brought that amount down into the bills section. Now let's get over here to this savings column. Yes, I didn't list everything out like I have been. So if you've been here before, I basically take the leftover and I'm going to play with my money. I'm going to touch it. I'm going to respect it. And I'm not going to spend it frivolously. I'm going to save it and have some fun with it. And then I'm going to close out my savings, and then I'm going to get after paying off stuff. So that's what I'll talk a little bit more about with the allocation. All right, we have $2,600. So I have my normal like $2,000, but I'm taking the $506 that I normally would have had here and then a little bit of the buffer. I'm going to take that and add in another $600. So we're going to do $2,600 of different savings challenges in the month of May. So we are going to tackle some things, get some challenges done. And that's going to equal $2,600. I did write the hop in because that's a non-negotiable, but the other things are all, I can do a little bit more over here on this day, do a little bit more here on this day, depending on what challenges I want to get complete in that month. So I didn't list it out this time. $2,600 is down here in the savings section. Then lastly, the same amount, $400 for our variable expenses. I'm going to stuff the cash wallet. It's over here to the right of me. It's sitting here, so we will get this cash stuffing done, so don't go anywhere. We've got $400 total, $200 for food, $40 in fuel, $20 in beauty, $65 in spending, $60 in the household, and then $15 in my 1st and 15th challenge, equaling $400. I will do that challenge here momentarily as well. And then that brings that over here into the bill section too. So now with everything that we've got listed in the income, $6,335.49. We subtract bills, $3,186.15. Then the savings section of $2,600. And then our variable expense of $400 leaves us with a buffer of $149.34. So this is that zero-based budget. Every dollar here has a job, and it will do its job very, very well, if I might say so myself. So let's get to the cash wallet. Now I do have rollover. Oops. I do have some rollover, so let's get in here. I still have $20 in fuel. I think the Audi still has a pretty full tank too, so I still am going to put 40 into the next one, but beauty has 60. Now, I did do some spending at the National Zoo because you couldn't use cash. You had to use a credit card. So this is technically not really rollover. So I'm going to put this to the side and decide what I want to do with this. So we are going to stuff new money into the cash wallet. Now, I didn't go through here beforehand and pull out all the booty 20s. So that just means the nastiest bills for this cash wallet. So we'll just do that really quickly. Maybe I'll stop talking so I can fast forward. $20, $40, $60, $81, $20, $40, $60, $82. So $200 is going into the food envelope. Now you might be wondering, why am I taking the cash from what we had allocated or what we had saved over here from April? And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Okay, fuel, we need 20 and 40. And then beauty, I don't even remember what we needed. Let me grab my budget sheet. Beauty is getting 20. I'm gonna grab one of these that's kind of ripped up. Spending is getting 65. Let's look for 20, 40, 60. That had a smudge all on it. Okay, that one's kind of wrinkled up. That one's really wrinkled up. Okay, we'll put that in the front. All right. 65 is going in spending. And then household is getting 60. That one's all smudgy. That one's discolored. Those aren't too bad. I'll just grab one now. I just like to make sure I pull out the nasty ones first. Okay, 60 is in household. And then now we will do, so cash wallet is ready to go for the next couple weeks. Next we will do my 1st and 15th challenge. I'm going to put my budget, my finance planner over here. Now we have this military pay challenge. It's the 1st and 15th, y'all, from Craft and Budget with On. And this one was inspired by Renee at Budget Nerd Co., like a 15-30 challenge. Instead, we are doing a 1 and 15 challenge. So it is the 1st of May. Why did I do 15? You know what? I'll stuff 16 and then May will be complete. How about that? Because we do need to start fast tracking this for when I start getting paid once a month. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll have May done, and then we'll work on June and July, and then we'll have this done. That way, when my income drops, I'm not stressed about a silly amount that needs to go into this savings challenge. So let's grab a 10 and a 5 and a 1. Gotta look for a nicer one. All right, so 16 is in. And now in this challenge, we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 5, 75, 80, 1, 2, 3. Let's do this and grab one of these 50s that we have. Okay. And you know what we can do too? Look. Grab a 20 back. That condensed while we're here, because we only see this one. We only see this challenge occasionally. All right, so that challenge is done. And I'm only on 16 minutes in. And I still get to edit, and we get to talk about allocation. So we are moving right through. Okay. Now, in our savings from the month of April, we are, well, I can't tell you everything, but what I can tell you is we are going to stuff $80 into the travel binder. So this is my travel binder. Everything is zeroed out from my cruise, my 2-week cruise in December that I took with Sheila and Stacy, my besties. So what we're going to do is we have $80 that we're going to stuff in here. And I really want to get back into this transportation for air, because my airline tickets are obviously like the first thing I usually buy. Airline, and then hotel quickly follows. So how about on, and I am recording this video on 2 May, we are going to add those $80 into this binder. 20, 40, 60, 80 plus 80, and now the balance is $80. And the rest of the allocation will be discussed in my debt-free marathon, because the rest of those monies went to a very good place. The rest of these monies. Oh, now I didn't really talk about it. So in the and I'm still zoomed in. In the when I was talking about in the budget sheet, when I was saying that, you know, why do I still have this cash over here? So what I like to do is in the budget in my bank account is when I have my own like bank here of cash in the house, I can keep reutilizing this cash and make the direct deposit to where the monies need to go for whatever the sinking fund is. So in this case, most of it went to debt, just to be real honest with you. I'm not going to tell you specifically yet, though. That'll be in the debt-free marathon. So anyway, the monies that are over here to the left of me will just be reallocated into savings challenges per whatever I jot down here throughout the month, or throughout this first 2 weeks of the month, to get my savings challenges done. So that's kind of how I do it. Maybe other people do it differently, but I don't have a bank branch that I can just go to, because USAA is in Texas and I'm not there. So and then the Navy Federal here that's closer to me is not a cash branch. They have ATM machines in the branch. So you can get business done, but you can't tote around a bunch of cash and expect a person to do anything with it. You have to go to the machine. Anyway, long drawn out story. That's how that works for me. So I will be reusing these cash bills, and then I already made the direct transfer from my paycheck to where it needed to go, with the exception of this stuffing that we just did for the allocation. So that is complete. And we have put some monies back into our travel binder. And the reason why I did that is because one of the savings that we did complete in the month of April was specifically slated to go towards travel. So that's why I made sure I put some of that back into the travel binder, so we can start beefing this thing back up again. All right, well, that does it. We got through that pretty quickly. So I want to thank you for being here with my budget with me, a little bit of my allocation from the month of April. And in addition, we worked on cash stuffing, my variable expense wallet. I want you to have a great day or night whenever you're watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Aim high always.